Breaking news, breaking news, breaking motherfucking news. This is your boy BJ back from No Filter MMA, and I'm here with another fight announcement. It looks like Stephanie Edgar is moving down to 125 pounds, guys, according to this post by Nolan King, who's usually pretty spot on with what he says. It looks like Stephanie Edgar is moving down to 125, and she will face none other than Montana De La Rosa. Interesting fight. Stephanie Edgar likes to take people down and submit them. You know what I'm saying? She does, but she also likes to fight on the feet. You know what I'm saying? She's a solid bantamweight, you know what I'm saying? But I can see why she's moving down to 125 pounds, for sure. She lost to the Alexeyeva girl. I can't really say her last name. In her last fight at 135, I think she beat Alan Perez. Yeah, she beat Alan Perez. You know what I'm saying? But, just kind of only had a few fights in the UFC. And I'm pretty sure, she lost to Tracy Cortez. I'm pretty sure that fight was at 125. I can't remember if that fight was at 25 or 35. But anyways, she's going in there with Montana De La Rosa. Stephanie Edgar is also very well-rounded, but so is Montana. You know what I'm saying? So this is going to be a fight for Montana that Montana needs to get back on the horse. You know what I'm saying? Stephanie Edgar is not someone that Montana can't beat. You know what I'm saying? I do think at 125 pounds, Montana will be able to fight Stephanie Edgar anywhere she wanted to fight, anywhere the fight went, you know what I'm saying? I was curious when I saw this matchup, was Montana moving up to 135, but no, Stephanie Edgar coming back down to 125 to fight Montana, you know what I'm saying? But, it looks like people who just want to come into the division or whatever, it looks like Montana is the person that they're fighting, but this is an opportunity for Montana to, to get a win, and stop these people from coming into the division and getting wins over her. You know what I'm saying? Like, Montana's done too much in this division to be a pushover at 125, and that's kind of where they're trying to put her at. You know what I'm saying? Like, Jillian Robertson was that gauge for people, to see where they were. Now it looks like, they're trying to put Montana in that spot, to get, people a win, you know what I'm saying? But, now is the time for Montana De La Rosa and this fight is October 7th. So, a lot of shit going on October 7th. That's the whole Bellator card, I think. But yeah, you know what I'm saying? Montana, I think, can strike with Stephanie Edgar if the fight goes to the ground. Montana's skills are good on the ground, but I just want to see Montana be more assertive and dominant with her positioning, you know what I'm saying, and stop letting, and recognize when people are putting her in a bad position, you know what I'm saying, and work to get out of it, you know what I'm saying. That guillotine by Tatiana Suarez, there was no reason why Montana, being the grappler that she is, wasn't able to get out of something like that, or, you know what I'm saying, like, work to get out of it, you know what I'm saying, like, or recognize that that's what was coming, you know what I'm saying, like, it was like, it's almost like she allows these fighters to bully her, you know what I'm saying, and Montana has to be aware, man. She has to be ready for these things, you know what I'm saying, like, and she's beat a lot of girls who didn't have the ground game, you know what I'm saying, but, this is where Stephanie Edgar can present some problems for Montana, you know what I'm saying, because if that fight, Stephanie Edgar's willing to go to the ground and she's willing to strike, you know what I'm saying, so, if Stephanie Edgar, if she starts clinching up Montana, that's like that's a way that you can kind of stifle Montana De La Rosa, because, and you can, people say what they say, oh, Montana don't have hands, but these people don't really like to strike with Montana. You know what I'm saying? Like, when these strikers fight Montana, the first thing that they do is try to close the distance on her. Everyone except for Viviane Araujo. Macy Barber, close the distance. You know what I'm saying? Like, people really don't want to stand and trade with Montana only because Montana can land a good shot. You know what I'm saying? Everyone knows that Montana has heavy hands when she places those punches correctly. You know what I'm saying? She has some pop on the end of her punches. Tatiana Suarez didn't want to strike with Montana. Ariane Lipsky, well, Montana worked Ariane Lipsky, you know what I'm saying? But Macy Barber didn't want to strike with, didn't want to stay at range with Montana. Maida Bueno Silva didn't want to stay at range with Montana because she was getting pieced up. You know what I'm saying? So these girls are aware that, hey, if you stand in front of Montana, you know what I'm saying, if you're not an agile opponent and you stand in front of her, you know what I'm saying, like she can land some shots. So it's gonna be curious. I'm curious as to how Stephanie Egger approaches Montana and how they approach each other, really. You know what I'm saying? Because it could end up a striking match. You know what I'm saying? Like, Stephanie Egger doesn't mind going to the ground, and we know that Montana doesn't either. You know what I'm saying? So it very well could end up taking place on the feet. And a small part of me is really hoping that it does, because I want to see the improvements of Montana De La Rosa on her hands. You know what I'm saying? Like, because I talk a lot when I assess her as a fighter. You know what I'm saying? I've seen glimpses of good striking from Montana. I've seen it. You know what I'm saying? I've seen good glimpses of it. You know what I'm saying? And this will be an opportunity for her to put it on display against somebody like Stephanie Egger. I would have to say, skill wise on the feet, Stephanie Egger is a little more polished of a striker, but Montana wouldn't be far behind Stephanie Egger. You know what I'm saying? Like, Montana can get into a groove on the feet. And this is a Montana that's on a 2-fight losing streak too. You know what I'm saying? So she might come out all guns firing in this fight. And that's the type of fire, that's the type of, I want to see that behind that fire lit in Montana, because all jokes aside, Montana De La Rosa really could be a real contender at 125. She really could be, but like I said, there's a disconnect somewhere. It's not all coming together. You know what I'm saying? It's just like bits and pieces of it. She shows bits and pieces of being a well-rounded fighter, but it's just something doesn't, I don't know, man. Like, she gets defeated easily and mentally in fights. Like, she's talked about how she struggles mentally about, with getting in the cage, nerves and stuff. But I'm like, yo, it's like you almost 10 fights into the UFC. Like, you still have those, like, you know what I'm saying? You still have those big, those early jitters. Like, Montana got to get past that kind of stuff, man, so she can flourish in there. You know what I'm saying? She can flourish. And this is a good fight. This is a good fight. This is a good fight for Montana De La Rosa to get in there and show what it is that she can do. You know what I'm saying? And get a win and get a finish. She needs a finish to be back into, that threat of threatening the rankings, threatening people in the rankings. And if she can finish Stephanie Egger out here, then, that could set up a fight with, one of the Silvas, Marina Moroz. That's a big fight. Jasmine Jasdavicius, Miranda Maverick. Like, if Montana can win this fight, that sets up so many things for Montana. You know what I'm saying? And for the next step here. And given that Montana is a veteran in the division, that may be all that it takes for her to get a title shot. No, I'm just kidding, y'all. I'm kidding. That might be all that it takes for her to get a ranked opponent as her next opponent. You know what I'm saying? To get her back in the rankings, because, if she can get in the rankings, I think Montana belongs in the rankings. But, that's just the pure fan in me, you know what I'm saying? Because based off of her last couple performances, any normal person would say, no, she doesn't. But it is what it is, But Stephanie Egger looking to go, she's got a tough fight in front of her. Montana's a tough fight. You know what I'm saying? So, you have to find ways to beat Montana. So let's hope that we get a good showing here, guys. This is a great fight. This is a great fight announcement. Let me know what you guys think. This is your boy BJ back from No Filter MMA. Drop those comments in the comment section. Hit that like, hit that dislike. And if you guys haven't already, hit that subscribe button. Your boy is out.